aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, this is The Force Always with a special edition Star Wars Super Bowl 2019. Let's get right into it. First piece of Star Wars news at the Super Bowl 2019. If this is a spoiler, hold your ears or eyes or whatever you want. But the Patriots won. Just to let you know. That's the first piece of news. It's not really Star Wars news, but it's the news. The other piece of news that should be connected to the Super Bowl, the ads are always a highlight thing at the Super Bowl. There was no Star Wars ads. Coming from the Australian end of things, there was no Star Wars ads, which is, to me, great. Which now says to me, the setup for Star Wars Celebration is going to be the place for the trailer or teaser, which I think is the best time. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to seen or hear or a visual or a name today for the Super Bowl 2019 for Star Wars, but I'm glad it didn't happen because I'd rather see it at the Star Wars Celebration where you're amongst the fans and can really feel it and you can be exclusive to the fans there. All that needs to be happen now is the actual trailer or teaser at Star Wars Celebration needs to be delayed on the internet so then the fans who are there can spread the gospel via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you like, and spread the word of mouth. But the trailer obviously has to be good, but that to me, give it 24 to 48 hours without the world seeing this trailer, and that would be a great thing. Absolutely a great thing. It would be fantastic. But anyway, so there was no Star Wars trailer or teaser or name at 2019 Super Bowl. That's great. But anyway, so let's get on with more news. Star Wars Celebration in Chicago 2019 is now 65 days. That's right, 65 days. It's counting down big time. 65 days away for Star Wars Celebration. Chicago 2019. Just in case you didn't know where it was and what year it was. But anyway, that's for you to know now. Anyway, let's move on. And speaking of Star Wars Celebration, every week I'm dedicating the end of my show, which is the interview section, some questions and answers about going to a celebration, Star Wars Celebration. I've been to one. I'm going to this one, which is in Chicago, which is 2019. And I'm going to this one. I'll be reporting before, during, and after it. So I look forward to that. It's always an exciting time. But more, a couple of questions later on in the show. Let's get on with ending the news now. That's the news for this week. Well, for this time around, actually. I will be doing another episode during later this week of The Force Always, but that's for later this week. Let's get into views. Views is not the amount of views someone gets for YouTube. It's not predictions. It's my story ideas are something to do with Star Wars, usually to do with the saga films, sometimes the spin-off films or animation. But this time, like last week, I'm doing something different to the story idea. A great story that gets told in every single film is the actual trailer or teaser. So as we got the Super Bowl 2019, we had a range of movie trailers, Hobbs and Shaw, Toy Story, but the two I'm going to concentrate on later in reviews, but one of them I'm going to talk a bit more about because I really think they're hitting all the right points with the trailer or teaser, whatever you want to call it. Avengers Endgame yet again has come off with a nice, simple but impact type of trailer or teaser, whatever you want to call it. It's more of like a teaser, but it's now the second one or third one down the line. That I think it's just fantastic. If Star Wars can pull off something like this, like simple with impact, emotional impact, like really like feel something like devastation or loss or something like this. The only thing I will say that the episode 9 trailer needs is just something that is absolutely juicy as a visual or sound. For example, not to say that this should be it, but for example, It needs to come off with, I don't know, let's call Darth Vader. Let's say he's in it. Just a picture of Darth Vader, a visual, a movement, or a sound, of his voice, his breathing, something. Not to say it should be Darth Vader. It would be great in my personal opinion, but that's the only thing that Star Wars Episode 9 needs to do, other than what the Avengers Endgame teasers or trailers have been doing. They have been simple and with impact, which is great. It's like a really good beginning, lead up to the end of the trailer. Every single one of them, Avengers Endgame, are really rocking. So I'd like to see the story of the Episode 9 teaser or trailer to have a real lead up sort of feel with impact, but keep it simple. With a bit of juicy, either information, visual, or sound of some sort. That's what I think. That's my views for this time around. Let's get into the reviews. Reviews will be on 2 of my favorite movie trailers at the Super Bowl 2019. My 2 favorite ones, amazingly, as I've just been mentioning, Avengers Endgame. I give that teaser that we had at the Super Bowl 9.5 out of 10. It is really staying high level in its quality, in its storytelling feel to the teaser or trailer, whatever you want to call it, and it's keeping me interested. Yet it is a little bit similar like the first, where it's sort of that same sort of leader, but it's still keeping me interested. It's got that sort of, it's really winding me up. I'm not an Avengers fan. I don't hate or dislike. I don't love them like I love Star Wars. But I really think they're hitting the right notes. 9.5 out of 10. The other teaser or trailer that I think has made a big leap since its first is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, I'll still say that I think the whole bright electricity look of her flying and things like that, to me, that's what I don't like about effects. It looks a bit over the top. It doesn't have to be that over the top, but I know it could be part of the character. I'm unsure, but it could be a part of the character. I'm not into that look. It's just way too much. But I think the actual teaser or trailer we got today, 2019 Super Bowl, really has a great setup in how they're describing to you what she should be doing, harder, faster, higher, bigger, whatever that was said in the beginning of the trailer towards the end. It was great. I put it just behind the Avengers teaser or trailer, and I gave this 8.5 out of 10. Captain Marvel, I thought, is coming through. It's starting to get me excited, but I'm not super excited yet. I'll maybe see it. I'm sure I'll see it, but yeah, so that's the 2 reviews this week. It's going to be, so Captain Marvel got 8.5 out of 10 for the teaser or trailer at the Super Bowl, and the Avengers Endgame teaser or trailer, whatever you want to call it again, got 9.5 out of 10. That's my reviews for this time around. Let's get into the interviews. Right, so I'm going to Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019, which is now about or less than 2 months away. Can you believe? Start saving that coin, notes, whatever you want. But anyway, start saving. That's a free piece of advice right there. But anyway, the 2 questions. First question is, what happens in the overnight line at Star Wars Celebration? You will get the overnight line. An overnight line for definitely day 1, day 2, possibly day 3. Last time there was for the first 2 days, there was an overnight line, a sleepover line, whatever they called it. But what happens? Okay, so I can't remember, it was either the first or the second night at the last Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, and in the middle of the night, when we were all dead dog tired, for some reason Star Wars Celebration decided to bring a mobile DJ and play doof doof music. Oh my God. I think none of us there, besides maybe 1 or 2 trippers possibly, wanted this to happen. It was really annoying. But so unusual things do happen. There's a lot of just sitting there waiting in line, talking to the people in line, friends that you make, friends you don't make. That a lot of that happens, but expect surprises. Like on the second night, when I was really dead dog tired from the first night, we had a surprise of Ryan Johnson coming in and signing almost everything that was in that room in that line, the overnight line. Now, love him or hate him for The Last Jedi or whatever, but at that time, and even for me still, I think he came off with a good movie, not a great movie, but a good movie, and I'm not in denial. I think it's good. It's a good transitional movie. It's a good middle movie, but anyway, that's my opinion. But Ryan Johnson came in. I mean, you go, oh my goodness, I'm up front and personal with this guy. He could have signed anything. I got him to sign a Friends brochure. I got to ask him a question, and he answered. He was quite good, but it was not a sophisticated question, but it was just something. But he still responded. He had respect. He had, it was a real want. It was like you could see that he's just enjoying this, but he was obviously working hard, signing everyone's thing. But those type of things happen overnight. Not much else happens besides waiting in line and the anticipation for what's going to happen for the panel that you're waiting in line for. Like you go, oh my goodness, we're so close, and just things like that. But so waiting in line, what happens is a lot of sitting and sort of sleeping and just eating bad food that's there, but having great conversations with friends and fans and stuff like that. But you get surprises like Ryan Johnson turning up. Whether he's going to turn up at this time, I don't know. Whether J.J. Abrams turns up, I don't know. That would be spectacular. Whether any of the actors or actresses will turn up, I don't know. But just hold out for something like this, because that's what happens in the overnight sleepover lines. Anyway, that was the first question, and that's the answer. The second question is, when do you actually shop? When's the best time to shop in the actual sort of what I call the Star Wars mall? It's a mall of different type of shops, little shops, unique shops. The Star Wars shop, this official Star Wars celebration shop. When should you shop? Personally, I would like to shop down the first or second day, but you're waiting in line for so long that you can't go into the shopping area. My point in this is that I think you should you wait in line for a number. You get that number and you come back at a certain time to get into the event. That's what I think. And those people who've now got a number are free to shop. I think that's would help Star Wars Celebration make more money. And I think it would help the fan out just getting what they want, because you also have to wait in line to get in certain shops. Like the Star Wars Celebration shop, I waited at least an hour and a half on the 4th or 5th day I was there, in line, to get into the actual shop. The actual Star Wars mall sort of thing is sort of, pretty easy to walk around, besides the exclusive toys or things that they have there to offer. You wait in line for that too. But I think the first or second day is great, but you will be waiting in line. If you are one of those guys waiting in line overnight, sleepover line, try and get to it by the third day, because by the 4th and 5th day, especially 5th, I think I went on the 5th, or the 4th day last time, because it was 4 days, is lots of the products are sold out, so that you can't get them anymore. Like whatever you see online that you want, by the 4th day, they've all gone. So try and get there by the 3rd. Try and get in there, I don't know, sometime right after the panel, before you get the rush of people again and lines again. But expect to wait in that line for a while if you want to go into the Star Wars Celebration shop. But the other Star Wars mall type shops you can easily get into, unless they've got an exclusive figure or something like this to get. Anyway, so basically, the answer to that question, when should you shop, is try and make it not past the 3rd day. If you can help it, by the 2nd day. But the first 2 days between lining up and watching the panel and then relining up, if you're going to go to the 2nd day, you are going to be very busy doing that. So you will have no time to see the rest of Star Wars until the 3rd, 4th or 5th day. I'm going to push hard to go by the 3rd day. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, So those are the two questions for the interview section. 2Q, that's two questions where I ask myself a question for you guys out there. If you have any questions, please send them in by Instagram or Twitter, or even YouTube, my YouTube channel here, The Force Always, only on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Press notifications on. You'll get weekly Star Wars reports and Star Wars Celebration reports of before, during, and after. I will be there reporting on events and reporting before and reporting after. Just unusual things, usual things, whatever things. Like and share this video, that'd be great if you like. It's up to you. Hop over to Patreon if you want. You can go to Patreon, then / The Force Always. You can help support the channel that way if you want. But I'm still going to be here on a weekly basis. Anyway, until next time, my friends, keep rocking.